Hello, my darlings. I've got such a good book for you today. I'm so excited. I had been waiting forever for this from the library, and I've had it in a big stack of books that I'm reading to you, so I look at them, and then today the library said, we need that book back. So I better read it. And then I realized it was kind of stuck in some other books. So, because it is my favorite, but it got lost in the shuffle. Anyway, this book is called It Feels Good to Be Yourself. Think about a time when you felt, which hopefully is once a day at least, when you felt like you were really being accepted by everyone around you, just exactly the way you are. Didn't that feel good? It feels so good. And so that's why I try to accept everybody exactly the way they are, because that's how I would like to be treated. So it doesn't always happen, but at least I'm in the space of people being accepted for how they are, even if it's me doing it for them. Okay, so this book is about gender identity, and it's so interesting. And of course, it's just, you can't fit everything about gender identity into a book, but this is a good start. And I learned some stuff too. This book was written by Theresa Thorn, and it's illustrated by Noah Grigney. Thank you so much for writing this book and for illustrating it. So this book talks about some people are boys, some people are girls, some people are both, neither, or somewhere in between. Gives you so much space to be who you are. You don't have to be just like one or the other. If you don't want to, or if you do, that's great too. Okay, it feels good to be yourself. This is Ruthie. Hi, Ruthie. Hi, cutie pie. Oh, look at the nice full bust. This is Ruthie. Okay. She's a transgender girl. That means that when she was born, everyone thought she was a boy until she grew a little older, old enough to tell everyone that she's actually a girl. Hi there. Girl is Ruthie's gender identity. So sometimes people say, what do you identify as? When people are grown up and stuff. And she would say, I identify as a girl. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. You're a girl. This is Ruthie's brother, Xavier. Xavier is a cisgender boy. That means when Xavier was born, everyone thought he was a boy. And as he grew older, it turned out everyone was right. He is a boy. So boy is Xavier's gender identity. So he's cisgender. Because what he was when he was born is what he turned out to be. There are so many different ways to be a boy or a girl. Too many to fit in a book. But not everyone feels like either a boy or a girl. Non-binary is a helpful word that can describe a kid who doesn't feel exactly like a boy or a girl. And here's a whole bunch of kids. There's so many different ways to be, so you can kind of see people doing their lives the way it feels right for them and what is true for them. This is Ruthie's friend, Alex. Alex is both a boy and a girl. Hi, Alex. Both a boy and a girl. When Alex was born, everyone thought Alex was a girl. But Alex is both a boy and a girl. This is Alex's gender identity. So here's Alex again, walking down the street, saying hi to their friend. You don't say his or her, you say their friend. This is Alex's friend, JJ. High five. JJ is neither a boy nor a girl. Ever since JJ was very little, they never felt exactly like a boy or a girl. They just felt like themselves. This is JJ's gender identity. So he's non-binary, neither a boy nor a girl. Hi, JJ. Alex and JJ, and here they are together again. Alex and JJ, and here's all their friends. Alex and JJ are both non-binary. Just like there are many different ways to be a boy or a girl, there are many different ways to be non-binary. Too many to fit in a book. Some kids don't feel exactly like a boy or a girl. They feel like neither. Some kids feel that their gender identity isn't always the same. It's often changing. There's a bunch of different ways, and it doesn't have to stay the same. You don't have to be one and just stick to it just because you're sad. Oh my goodness, kitties are fighting. And even with all these possible ways to be, some kids don't feel any of the words they know fit them exactly right. There are never-ending numbers of ways to be yourself in the world. Here's some kids being themselves. You don't have to be one way and stay it. There's so many possible ways, and some of these words don't even fit, but it gives you a sense of the possibilities and how people are different. Whether you feel like a boy, a girl, both, or neither, or if you describe yourself another way, that is your gender identity. Your gender identity might match what people thought you were when you were born, or it might not. So here's a family. There's a baby, so they're just guessing what its gender identity is. Maybe some of, they're just kind of letting the kid grow up and decide. See, so here you are when you were born. See, when you were born, you couldn't tell people who you were or how you felt. They looked at you and made a guess. Maybe they got it right, maybe they got it wrong. They looked at you and made a guess. It's a boy, they'll say. But the baby didn't get to say anything about it because it isn't even grown up enough to know. It's just busy being a baby. What a baby's body looks like when they're born can be a clue to what the baby's gender will be, but not always. So sometimes you can get clues, but it doesn't always be, you're not always right. When people guess wrong, it's okay to let them know. Ruthie was 5 when she told her parents. And here she is at 5 when she's telling her parents. There's her little brother Xavier. And she says, I know you think I'm a boy, but I really feel like I'm a girl. And they're listening very carefully because they know this is important. Oops! Ruthie was a girl all along. They just didn't know it at first. So then they hug the big family. We love you, Ruthie. Exactly how you are. Thanks for telling us. When people guess right, it's also okay to let them know. In fact, Xavier was 3.5 when he told his family, I'm a boy, I like being a boy. And there he is yelling, I'm a boy, I love being a boy. And his parents go, oh good, Xavier, that's awesome. The dog looked, scratch me on my belly. Don't you wish you could live in this household? I do. You might feel like a boy, you might feel like a girl. You might feel like both a boy and a girl, or like neither. You might feel like your gender changes from day to day or from year to year. You might feel like none of these words describe you perfectly. You might not be sure yet. Maybe you're still figuring it out, or maybe you know. There's all these people figuring it out enjoying the world together, being exactly who they are. Your feelings about gender and about your gender are real. Listen to your heart. No matter what your gender identity is, you are okay exactly the way you are, and you are loved. It feels good to be yourself, doesn't it? And here's all the kids we just got to get to know, enjoying being themselves, and it feels so good. I love this book so much. And then, what I love about this book is look at all the resources they give us. All the resources and illustrator's note, author's note. The author, her daughter was 5 when she told her that she's a girl, even though they thought she was a boy. And Noah, the guy who illustrated the book, said he was 14 when he came out as trans, and he was lucky to have parents who listened and stood up for him when others failed. So there's really great, oh, look at this beautiful watercolor. So I love this book, and the cool thing is there are so many more resources, because one little book can't very well explain everything, but there's a whole bunch we can find out on our own, and I'm going to. Are you? If you want to, because I love you just the way you are too, and I'm so happy you're here with me, and I'll see you next time. I love being in a world where everyone's themselves completely. So much fun.